upon us.
Yes, it's coming here. I like how Moko is just like, Dad, is there snacks in your hands? You're holding your hands. Are there snacks?
I think he's licking the microphone.
I thought I saw snacks.
Your chihuahua is licking your microphone. That really sounds dirty. Anyway, everyone hold up their drink. I think we have 2 claws and a Canada Dry. Chrissy, what you got in there?
Oh, yeah. Oh, the sparkly claw. Man.
Oh, it's just a seltzer, lime seltzer in our E1R.
I'm mad jealous of Chris's holder there.
They were the cheapest you could find on Amazon, so I bought them.
I hope they're coming to Button Willow.
And they sparkle.
Of course they sparkle.
I know.
Okay, are we ready to kick this pig?
We have been for a little while.
Poor pig.
Oh.
Pig just wants to root around in filth and yep.
Oh, red pig. All right, let's get this sucker started. Welcome to Everyone Racers, a show designed for the world of low dollar racing and oddball car culture. It doesn't matter what kind of Lemachamp or Lucky Track Dog League you run, SCC or NASA, we won't discriminate as long as you drive it hard and built it yourself. Join us each week for tech discussion, tips, tricks, news, and notes in the world of amateur endurance racing, and whether it's on the spot, hella sweet, or we're lucky enough and Chrissy gives us just the tip, we're sure you'll giggle a little and learn even less. Everyone report to the paddock.
This is Chris.
This is Chrissy.
I'm Jeff.
And I'm Mental.
Holy shit, what?
It barely looks like Mental. He's a lot hairier than I think I've seen him in a long, long time.
That's how I know Mental's not in the military anymore. Yeah.
Nice. All right. And of course, we are Everyone Racers. Now, the day that we are recording this is Wednesday, August 18th, the birthday of the great one himself, Patrick Swayze. So thank you for coming back and listening to another episode. May the Swayze be with you. Patrick once said that what winning is to me is not giving up. No matter what is thrown at me, I can take it and I can keep going, which I would offer is wisdom for any pursuit, especially endurance racing. I also submit Dalton's line from the classic film Roadhouse, which is just simply be nice. You know what else is nice? That E1R bingo card that Jeffrey did a few weeks ago.
Yeah. It's exciting.
Yeah.
What was the better car that Dalton drove in Roadhouse?
Mercedes 560 SEC.
Was it the Mercedes or was it the Buick?
No, the Buick was cool. I'll give you the Buick was cool, but the Mercedes
there's never been a cooler
560
Buick than a 560 SEC.
Boom. That just
I
happened.
don't know. That Riv was nice.
But
all right.
Well, until they smashed out all the windows, slashed all of his tires, and and you had to go buy the new radio antenna from Red.
I've watched that movie a lot, and I know everything you just said. Let's move on to what you're working on. I'll go first because mine is easy. I was on vacation. So I went to Chicago, the Windy City. I did a lot of touristy stuff. I saw the Bean. I made some TikToks, and I did a bunch of little house repairs for my wife's aunt, who moved into a new condo in a very swanky neighborhood called Oak Park. And I had to do things like change some light switches and a fixture and change the shower heads and all kinds of all those stuff that little old ladies can't do and don't want to pay someone to come do. Not that she's a little old lady. She's pretty funky. She's a Buddhist priest, literally. She is,
which apparently pays very well for people that eschew material wealth.
No, she got all that money being a nurse in Chicago in some of the craziest ways that you could imagine. For her, most of her career, she was a nurse in a pediatric hospice. So she took care of the worst of the worst of the worst of the worst.
So moving on to not depressing.
Sorry. Yes. So here's a fun fact. If you have two Lutron, how do you say them? How do you say that? Dimmer switches, the computer controlled Lutron dimmer switches, which are not like potentiometers. There's like chips and stuff inside of it. I'm not really sure how they work. if you put two of them in a gang box and you just like use wire nuts and shove them in, and the gang box is really filled and the wire nuts come apart, and then like the power touches the box, they're going to make a really cool pop sound when you put the breaker back on.
I was going to say, do I need to Google fire in Chicago high rise?
No fire. Just the breaker did its job, and I had to go out and buy new switches. I went to a Menards. I've never been to a Menards before. They're freaking fantastic.
They were all over the Nebraska when I lived there, Nebraska and Iowa. And for the longest time, their entire business model was every Menards that they built had to be the biggest one they'd ever built.
Well,
and ultimately it was self-defeating, but yeah, they've got some huge ones.
Yeah, this was huge. It had a grand piano in it, and it had it was multiple stories, and you push the cart onto a conveyor belt and rode the conveyor belt at like an escalator. It was pretty cool.
Well, I mean, Paul Menard ain't winning to pay them racing bills. Somebody got to be doing something.
Hey, I loved it, but I had a good time. Got a t-shirt. It says Abe Froman on it.
The Sausage King of Chicago.
That's right. I had to tell my son about the joke and show him the movie. Enough about that.
Kids
Chrissy,
these days.
What are you working on?
Sorry, I have to switch my mic a little bit easier. I gave the Mazda a bath. It needed a bath. It was very dirty inside and out. Oh, I did a lot of scrubbing. Hopefully I posted some pictures on the Insta and stuff, because I was insistent on getting on all of the scratches, as much scratches as I possibly could off with the race rubber, just the race rubber, and not the dents. The dents are still there. So it was nice to give Mazda a bath, and then I was packing, and then now I unpacked, and then we'll repack. So
there was a lot of just a handful of comments, but a lot of very positive responses with the before and after on the Insta for that.
Looks
for that
fantastic.
The race rubber remover.
Mm-hmm.
So if you've got donuts on the side of your race car,
oh shoot, stuff is so easy. You don't even have to leave.
They really, this more so than anyone else, they should really totally.
They don't have to sponsor me. I'm just going to keep buying their crap because it's amazing. And I want to take all the rubber off. Right? Yes, it is.
Yeah. All it took for us was to have a white race car, and we said, damn it. A black and green Civic. No one ever noticed.
Oh, no.
Well, you did. It just blended in after it got too much of it. So, yep.
Do you want to say why you were packing and unpacking and repacking?
We were something with bears. They put bears in their cans. I don't know what that's about.
So we were supposed to go hiking, backpacking. So we were going to go for 3 days up to upstate New York, south of Lake Placid, and do our backpacking trip. So we bring all of our stuff for 3 days, and we were supposed to leave today. We were supposed to be in the hotel doing our show. We're doing it from home if you're watching on YouTube, because there is a stupid remnants of a hurricane directly over where we were supposed to be staying. So we decided that we really didn't want to spend a day and a half worth of, actually supposed to be raining for a day while we were one of the days. And then it was, it's how many inches of rain were supposed to fall in the mountains because of this hurricane. It was everywhere we're going to be going was, inches, feet of water. So we decided it was not fun.
What's the name of that tropical storm?
Fred?
Anyone want to guess what Dr. Florida Man's dog is named?
Fred?
I don't want to say aliens, but
aliens.
Okay. Okay.
It's very much like a Fred tropical storm. It's not really hurting anybody. It's just moving kind of slow, looking sad at people to see if they'll give it food.
Messing up a lot of projects.
Yes.
Messing up a lot of good times.
Yeah, messing up good times.
A little bit of a mess.
Yeah, that's what it did. So, yep. So that's why we're not. But we'll find another weekend project, and we're here. So,
yay.
Chris, yay. Anything I missed?
Oh, that's good.
What'd you do, Chris?
Is it my turn? Oh, thanks,
Yeah.
Jess.
She threw it to you, but you didn't catch it.
I changed all the fluids in the Corvette, which all the driveline fluids, which normally is only 3 things, but because this is a weird car, it is 4 things. You've got the engine.
Can I guess?
Yes, please.
2 different transmission fluids.
Yes, because that's stupid overdrive. So, yeah, engine normal. Put Rotella in it. Send it. Trans, put AMSOIL in it. It's just a T10. No big deal. I tried to lubricate the shift linkage because that shifter is terrible just by nature. It's awful. Then the overdrive is basically a power glide automatic. That's basically what the overdrive is. So you have to do an automatic transmission fluid change, which is take off the little pan and spill a fluid everywhere, and then clean said pan and magnet and all that crap, and take the gasket stuff off, put it up. It's annoying. Anyway, and then the diff on the 84 Corvette, actually any C4 Corvette, has no drain plug. No drain plug.
Cover?
Only if no cover. There's no cover, no drain plug, just a fill plug. So fortunately, I have a fluid extractor. So I jammed the fluid extractor in that, which is much better than the big syringe kind of thing that I used to use. So I'm really happy I have the nice big air powered fluid extractors. Jam that in and watch it go. And that was diff fluid. It was gross. These fluids, most of them I think were original, 44,000 miles. So now they're all new. It's probably better. I really haven't driven it since. Chrissy drove it on the block. Chrissy, what'd you think?
Exactly what you said. The shifter is very, very difficult. The clutch is fine. I tried to, I don't know. It's kind
difficult
of
because it fights you, or difficult because it's vague?
Oh, because it fights you. It's very difficult to move.
And the shifter is so long. Like the throw is like a foot
you're
long.
at the end of your arm is when you're going to third. You're like, that's how far away you are. Like boat.
I don't know if you guys remember the 80s. That's just how shifters were, man.
I mean,
I
sure.
had an 86 CRX. That shifter was great.
All right. I had like I had two 80 Scirocco's, and that 1 to 2 shift was, oh dear God.
Yeah.
The length of my motorcycles.
I'm spoiled by Hondas. I don't know.
This one's tough.
My 80s Hondas had totally better build quality and like everything, and almost as fast as this stupid thing.
Yeah.
Anyway,
heavy and long, and the seats are very cushy, but makes it absolutely impossible to get out.
The seats are cushy. Are you describing a car or me?
I said it, but you missed the last part. The last part makes it a little concerning.
That's why I tried to interrupt right there.
Got it. All right.
Well, speaking of things that were difficult to get out, apparently you tried a sheets this weekend and it didn't go over very well.
No, it's terrible. No sheets. Chris was in the middle of his story. We'll get to the sheets.
I was. Anyway, that's the Corvette. Mazda, I got the bumper off, and the trans is now out, and I have a diagnosis for the transmission problems. Anyone want to make a guess before I provide the diagnosis? Jeff.
Broken springs in the pressure plate.
Okay, that's your guess. Mental, what is your guess?
Ball bearings in the shifter, like, have fallen into the transmission.
Okay, anyone else have a guess?
Chrissy knows, I think.
Chrissy knows the answer. You're both wrong. The answer is the throwout bearing.
Really?
Okay.
Yep.
And I should have gone for the easy kill because it's a Japanese car, but I wanted it to be exotic.
No. Throwout bearing had like a plastic sleeve inside the metal sleeve. That plastic sleeve was basically gone. There was a tiny remnant of it. I think that allowed it to fall off of the fork halfway, and therefore it wasn't really working right.
Mm-hmm.
Pressure plate looks fine from a casual inspection. I haven't pulled it off the flywheel yet. So, while yes, in theory, a throwout bearing would have this back working, we're not going to do that. It's all off now, so it's getting all the new stuff.
Yeah, good. Exactly, because you're not doing that again.
No, which actually, this isn't a bad chance to take off, I have to say. So, but
especially for a front driver, I guess.
Yeah, but it's not going. That one's not going back in. So, if anyone wants a 6-speed transmission from a 2010 Mazda 3 that actually worked completely fine, except for this clutch thing,
don't need one no more.
We don't need it, and it'll include axles, intermediate shaft, flywheel.
The green Mazda 3 that was at Pitt. They were starting to have transmission issues. So
they were. The guy even took my email and never said a thing and never showed up.
Well, if you listen, we're trying to get.
If anyone needs a transmission, I'll keep it because these transmissions are actually quite valuable. So I'll hang out there for a little bit.
Let's say pricey. Let's not say valuable.
That's true. Pricey. Yes. Well, they are rare and they do break occasionally. So anyway, this one worked. Lastly, I replaced the fridge condenser fan because the motor started to get weak. The fridge got a little hot. It threw an error code of freezer compressor is working harder than it should. Clean the condenser and stuff, and that still wasn't it. The motor just wasn't spinning.
That's a baller freezer if it gives you error codes.
It is a baller
Seriously.
freezer.
And like,
Well, it has separate
And you've all
compressors for the
seen
fridge.
our fridge and freezer, so
Yeah,
it's
actually.
baller.
It has
is.
separate compressors for the fridge and freezer sides that do different things. And yeah, so it gave me the error code. It wasn't that I don't know. It said the basically the compressor is working harder than expected to maintain the temperature that it has. So you should check stuff.
There you go.
And I did. And it was a fan motor.
Also, our first indication was that we used some ice in drinks at one night, and then I went in for the next day, and it was empty. And I was like,
That was a different problem. That was something that jammed up the ice maker.
I thought it was because everything was hot.
No, that was okay. Anyway,
Wow, how strange is this? I put into my Google Photos refrigerator, and I got a picture of Chrissy
standing next to your
the
baller
baller
fridge.
refrigerator.
I look so happy. It's because
Well,
I
you
love
love
my
that
baller.
fridge.
I love
There
my
you go.
baller fridge. It's me
Yeah.
moved.
Yeah.
Those
Okay.
of you not on YouTube, you're really missing some special stuff now.
Or you
We
can just
looked at a
Google
refrigerator.
Apparently,
a
if you Google refrigerator, Chrissy comes up.
just Google a Sub-Zero 42-inch counter depth fridge. There you go. Anyway, that's it. I'm done. Mental, what you doing?
They just got back Sunday night from, honestly, we all agreed this is one of the best Lemons racing weekends we've ever had. I only had 2 teams all weekend make it to the infamous third penalty. It was
Wow.
annoying. And I had so many great penalties, and like so many of them were like Chicago themed, so I can't like recycle them. But great team. Saturday night, you guys saw the
Lots
Slack
of
channel.
Abe Froman jokes.
Because they weren't funny. No, but Kim managed to find out that the night of destruction at the local Dirty O dirt track, Team Demolition Derby, was going on, and she got tickets for the staff, and that's where we all went. And it's a lot to process that was going on there, but it was amazing. I'm old school. We walk in, it's a dirt track. So immediately I break off while they go get their seats, and I go get some beers. And all the concession girls are wearing the costume. I kid you not, the eBay costume race car driver thing that, short shorts and zips up in the front.
That's
They didn't have
black
them.
and white checkered.
It was red and black, but yeah, they didn't
Okay.
have them zipped all the way up because they're looking for tips. But Janine told me she could only give me 2 beers, but she said I looked trustworthy and gave me 4, so we were good. And as I am making my way
Totally-
up the
breaking
stairs-
alcohol laws. I just met you, and I'm gonna wink at you and say, I'm just gonna break the alcohol laws right away for you.
Yeah.
I tipped her anyway. Don't care. So,
Trustworthy is not the first word that would come to mind upon just meeting you, or upon knowing you for a long time. I don't know. Also, but
So I'm walking over to the seats, and they've got the local JROTC detachment, with the American flag, and the local choir girl to sing the anthem, because this is still the Midwest. And I, many things I am very irreverent about, but I stop and I face the flag, and I go to put my hand over, I set my beers down and put my hand over my heart. And as they are singing, it was a lovely rendition of the national anthem. They are singing one of the demo derby race cars, because they had 2 separate events, a 76 Monte Carlo painted as an American flag with a giant flag sticking out of it, comes out and starts doing donuts.
America.
It was a lot to process. I don't
And this
So-
is before the race even started.
before this is and then they start popping off fireworks, and I flinched a couple of times. I'm like, that's a lot of PTSD that's probably in these stands for you guys to be popping off fireworks during a national anthem. But okay, the rest of it was glorious. So this is why the communists will never win, because we have Team Demolition Derby
And
it was-
spectator drags at Seekonk Speedway.
Yeah,
and the bombs.
Yeah, and that was just incredible. And afterwards, Kim, Richard, myself, and a couple others, we went to go look at the actual demo derby cars. That is a substantial amount of modifications they have to do to those cars. Anyone want to guess what their fuel source is?
Boat gas
outboard
tank.
Chris has it right. Held down with rope or a chain.
I was gonna say bungee
Nice.
cord.
Behind the driver. Right there.
Did it have the little pump, little hand squeezy thing?
Well,
You
Oh,
like-
it's got it.
I think one of them did. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, the reason it's behind the driver is because that's where they have the most impact protection is on
Yeah.
that side. And
So
you're not
that,
allowed
you know-
to hit the driver's door.
Uh,
Well, you're not supposed to be able to.
so yeah.
That might be in the rule book, but just like 2 beers at a time, nobody follows that rule.
Yeah.
Yeah. But genuinely, if you're near Joliet, Illinois, and there's anything going on at the Dirty O, go. It's a great facility. It is hysterical, and that whole evening was just absolutely amazing. So we had a great time. Thanks to Kim for putting that together, and then went back to the track, Sunday, and remarkably calm. Just nothing to do. If you were watching the 24 Hours of Lemons Instagram, we were making fun of how bored we were. Great time. I didn't get any real work done, but I'm not going to pull it off its mount. But I got a 3D printed Ferrari style gated shifter for modification for my Logitech for my iRacing simulator, and it's got magnets in it. We'll have the link to that in our show notes. It's fantastic. I got to try it out Monday night, and it really just absolutely transforms my cheap Logitech shifter into something impressive.
Nice.
Okay.
Notes time.
Now, you're in for a slight flavor change, folks, and we're not going to be dismissing our new car episode, which we're going to try to do despite the fact that most of the car shows are being postponed. We've got a lot of really good news regarding new cars. It's been a banner week to be a gearhead, even if Mercedes has canceled almost every one of its V8 orders for 2022, citing a chip shortage and a host of other challenges with the supply disruption. And a link to that little story is in our show notes. But there are some great cars that debuted this week.
Yeah.
That's you
First,
first.
I'm going. Thanks.
He's there.
First, he was just, it was abrupt. I thought he was going to tail off because Mental usually doesn't just stick to what's in the notes. He usually has something else to say. So the folks at Honda are teasing a new Integra. Late last week, Eric Schilling at Jalopnik broke down the Honda press release with only the hint of an updated bumper with the inset Integra name as it was back in the day and the promise of a 2022 Integra. John Ikeda, Vice President and Acura Brand Officer, said, "I'm thrilled to say Integra is returning to the Acura lineup with the same fun-to-drive spirit and DNA of the original, fulfilling our commitment to precision-crafted performance in every way, design, performance, and the overall driving experience." The rest of the article theorizes a potential Type R version and perhaps a hybrid or fully electric model. Acura has released no further details, but it did make the announcement at Monterey Car Week with a light drone show. Actually, that was during the announcement of the NSX Type S. They all said, "Oh, hey, and by the way, Integra too."
I saw that. It was like they're all there for the NSX. They said, "Integra is coming."
Yeah.
And everybody
How
went,
about
"What?"
a car you guys will actually buy?
Hopefully.
Yeah, it's true.
Hey, realistically, if they just take a Civic Type R, make it look less wacky, there you go. There's your Integra, because that's what the original Integra was a better Civic.
With a half-inch wider track, and
Yeah.
Wow.
Great.
You know what else debuted this week at the same place at Monterey? It's Monterey, so everybody's pulling out their fun stuff. I had it on the wall of my youth. I'm sure Mental did too. Lamborghini is making a new Countach. Yes, you've seen it in your 70s coked out fantasies, in the 80s bikini clad posters. Haley Southwell takes us on a walk around of what might be called a reimagined car. It's a hybrid supercar. It's an Aventador that looks totally different. It definitely looks like I would definitely say it kind of looks Countach if you kind of like like look real quick. It definitely feels like you're looking at the Cannonball Run movies. According to the specs, we did not see it run. It did not get any testing, but it has 800 horsepower when you add in the electric motors. It weighs 3,100 pounds, 0 to 60 in under 3 seconds. It's been a bit polarizing. Matt Farah called it a shameless cash grab. Others see it as a modern tribute. I know Mental's given that he says it's sexy. I loved it. I thought it was great. I mean, why not have the Countach name? But Matt and Mentals, in my opinion, don't matter. Not only because we don't have the 1 point whatever million they're selling for, but all 112 versions of it are already sold out. So there it is.
Not surprised.
No,
It's for people that have too much money, and then they can.
I think
say
it was
they own a Countach.
1.2 million. I think was the price tag.
And then, yeah, right. Chris is throwing.
and then no one who buys one will drive it.
No, there'll be 4 of them. They'll crash. So
In the
they're-
first 2 weeks,
Yep.
mostly in the Middle East.
Yep.
And one in New
one
York City by a
YouTuber.
person probably from
one
and
YouTuber.
and a YouTuber
And
yeah.
a YouTuber.
And somebody who has a very rich father. Yes.
Mhm.
That's 5. We'll call it 5. Anyway, finally, Nissan has released the details of the new 400Z. Nathan Peterleg at Haggerty told us the details of the 7th generation of the Nissan sport car. Hitting showrooms in spring of next year, it's a proper sports car. A front engine, rear drive coupe, as Nathan says, forever and ever. Amen.
Amen.
Amen. The way too many letters that do not have an actual word. VR30DDTT is a 3.0 liter twin turbo V6 and makes 400 horsepower at 64 RPM. It also gives you 35 foot-pounds of torque from 1,600 to 5,600 RPM. An auto with launch control and with paddle shifters available, but really why? The manual is a real spec 6-speed. What? And it comes with a Exity high-performance clutch, a automatic rev matching and carbon fiber drive shafts. Rumors have it priced at about $3,500, or excuse me, that'd be wonderful, $35,000, which is $15,000 cheaper than the Supra. This and everything else we talk about is in the link to our show notes.
That horsepower is at 6,400 RPM, and that torque is 350 foot-pounds.
Did I mess up all those numbers?
You
I'm sorry.
said 64 RPM and 35 foot-pounds of torque. That's, a
That's-
very different
He's
engine.
truncating the zeros.
Yes.
I don't need those zeros. That's kind of like
Yeah.
Scooty. I apologize.
Yeah.
I think the biggest lie here is the price.
Oh yeah.
If this
It's gonna be-
comes out at this is not going to be $35,000.
Well, or
Yeah.
Nissan might very well, do it, and then dealers are going to dealer.
Yeah,
you
I
know.
think the base price is going to be $39,999 before destination and any options.
Yeah.
I'm guessing.
This better sell a lot. That's all I want to say. Or the performance car is dead, and we all just have to deal with our SUV, cute UV overlords, and we're all going to be stuck
Crossovers
in
and-
stupid
Ugh.
crossovers.
That's sad.
It is so painfully sad. It's not.
It's really pretty. I just want to say that the
is
the
gorgeous.
400Z, whatever they're calling it, they have some sort of like historical model that has like a little bit different features here and there, and that thing is amazing. Please sell it, but wait 6-10 years so that I can finish.
Well, no,
one
it
more.
needs to sell now.
It's
So
true.
that it can
So that
quickly
I
get
can buy a used.
evaluated. Yes, I mean.
Oh, don't worry. Like most Nissans, it's going to depreciate like a tuna sandwich in July.
Oh,
Keep it as long as you kept the GTR.
Yep.
This is twice mental.
Sorry, go on.
Twice.
It is. It is. No. It's totally
He
fine.
had 2 good lead-ins.
Yep.
You know what's also nice? Upcoming races.
I was waiting for them. They were good, and everybody. This is one for your bingo card. Just scribble out my name and say this is something interrupts mental. Anyway, Champ Car is at the lovely Gingerman Raceway. There are 36 cars, 10 BMWs.
Boring.
Okay,
Boring.
thank you. 8 Miatas, 3 Hondas, 3 Porsches, and a Celica GT, a 900 E16 valve, and an 87 Supra.
That's a 190.
190.
The mighty the mighty 190.
Did I mess it up?
You said a
No.
900.
I'm like
It's okay.
dyslexic today. Gosh.
Well, we'll have to start writing all your numbers in like letters, like THREE.
No, I don't. I apologize. I had a
Now,
headache, but
This next bit is going to be a bit clunky because I had Jeff assigned to do this, and I just got the input from Kathy over at Lucky Dog, and I'm having to read this off of the spreadsheet. But Lucky Dog is returning down to Carolina Motorsport for the third of their Carolina Cup races. Right now, they are scheduled to have 37 cars. Approximately 7 of those are also BMWs.
Boring.
Yes. They only have about 4 Miatas, which, slightly less boring. A small contingent of what I am counting so far as a mere pair of Hondas, if that. Yikes. Oddly enough, a pair of Mini Coopers. One of those BMWs is a 540.
Nice.
No Porsches.
Oh, is the CLK there? Is Darren running this?
No, actually, no.
Maybe he's running one of his other cars. He might be
Perhaps. I am not. Yeah, actually, I take that back. They are there. The C280 is going to be there. So they are running it. They also have a Cadillac El Dorado from Cheap Thrills Kentucky or Cheap Thrills KY Racing on there. So that is going to be awesome. Now, the other aspect of that news is I try to fill this space with words and get back to the information that Kathy said. This is because this is the Carolina Cup standing. So right now, going into the third race, the Scorton Coronas, Darren's team, are actually in the lead for the Carolina Cup. So because they won the first one at CMP, they won the Saturday morning race. They were second in the Sunday and then crushed everyone Sunday afternoon. So Scorton Coronas are Scorton Coronas are in the hunt. If I'm trying to add all these points up correctly,
He's doing math in his head live on the show,
which is always a plan to fail. Showing up this weekend at the race is the seat stealer himself and his Flying Moose car. He is currently tied for the lead with 37.5 points. Randy Popes and HMD Racing, but the Darren and the crew is in the scratch everything I just said. It is Darren. Darren's in the lead. The team the closest behind him is David Levine Racing. They are just over 12 points behind. And then Cheap Thrills KY XLR, that Cadillac, but they're bringing an El Dorado this time, so they'll be able to do that. So those are your competitors for the 3-race Carolina Endurance Racing Cup presented by Lucky Dog. We've been whining about them coming to the East Coast for years. They came out here 3 times and only 40. Well, CMP 40 cars is actually probably pretty good, but like the Charlotte Roval, not a whole lot of people showed up. So if you want to go endurance racing, and you do, try and go racing with Lucky Dog because they're awesome. You might even win like a really cool watch. So check them out at luckydog.com.
Darren, if you win the watch, sell it to me. Very cheap price.
Sell me your watch.
The Rebellion timepieces are absolutely fantastic.
The Rebellion guys will show up at the race and they'll race a crap can, and it's hilarious. It's awesome. And this is a team that sponsors Le Mans entries. So to that end, go make a promise to yourself to race the Lucky Dog race in 2022.
All right. Recent results.
Lucky Dog was at Brainerd International. It's up in Minnesota. Oh yeah.
So, it's up in Brainerd,
Oh yeah.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, you'll bet you get a good sausage up there.
Oh,
good
totally. Saturday, Black Roster took a commanding win, 4 laps over second place, 45th Parallel Motorsports. Third was Gensoku, a lap back. Sunday, Black Rooster did it again. Is it Rooster or Roster? It said Roster on one, Rooster on the other. Fine. Black Rooster or Roster. They did well. Only 1 lap over second place, Braunschweig. Third was Dirty 30 Racing in a boring BMW.
Of course.
Nice. Our buddies at the Dead Pedal Maserati had, quote, one of the toughest weekends ever, they reported. They finished third in class on Saturday after breaking a trailing link 2.5 hours before the end, but they had been leading by 22 laps.
That Maserati is when it holds together, it's amazing.
frick, 22 laps. They had first in class on Sunday after getting punted off the track by, you guessed it, a Miata.
I thought it would be a BMW.
I thought so too.
Right. One or the other. All right. Lemons was at Doing Time in Joliet and Audubon. The class winners of A and overall was the Road Throwing Fools in their swapped first gen MR2. The class B was the Scheissmeister Racing in a 944. Class C was a Nightmare on Elm Street in a 92 Eagle Talon.
Hell yeah!
Right?
Oh, and we got so much. Why did you put an Eagle Talon in Class C? Because Talon.
Yeah.
It's DSM. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And for anyone that questions that decision, I would like to point out that right up until about an hour before the end, they were in contention, and their Class C win was being very threatened by Steinkamp in a quantum wagon. So Steinkamp, man, that team put it together this weekend. They were running well right up until they broke something.
Heroic fix was the MFAs, the McCaskey Family Appreciation Society in an 01 Ford Focus.
These guys showed up Saturday at noon to tech this thing. And
Saturday at noon?
Okay.
Yeah, after getting there Thursday night, they couldn't make the car run. And it was not ready to pass tech. So we passed what we could to, all right, go back and fix these things. And they made some friends in the pits, and we didn't see them again until Sunday morning.
Oh no.
But they passed tech, got the car out onto the track. Their fastest lap was the slowest lap of the weekend, and it was more than double the time of the fastest lap.
Wow.
But they stuck with it, and they raced.
All right.
That's like Jet Electra numbers. Go on, Chrissy.
Okay. I refuse to be screwed was the Mint Motorsports in the Plymouth Duster. Yes.
I just want to say the next team name that you're about to read is my favorite team name ever.
Me too. I said this to Chris out loud as I was typing this up. The judge's choice went to Just the Tib in 2000 Tiburon.
And don't think that name did not play into Eric and I just falling in love with this car. It was also
amazing.
It was really well done.
That's fantastic. Org's choice went to another great team. I heard they were all over the internet. Detroit Student Racing Team in a 90 Lexus ES 250.
And that's the same guy that does the Detroit Bus Company that made hand sanitizer all last year and gives those tours, and then led the Saturn protest. And apparently part of the Saturn protest was he got the Corvair Club to come out and like be angry that there was no more Saturn. The kids, he brought all these high school kids, the ones that were old enough to drive drove, the ones that weren't were crewing and wrenching. Just an amazing, the whole crowd of them, just the most amazing people.
Lots of smiles I saw all over Facebook, and lots of women, girls. I saw
one mechanic, one driver. Brittany
it
was her first ever race. And by the way, this was a 5-speed Lexus EX 250.
Nice.
Oh,
so unicorn. And he totally went racing with it.
Yeah.
And,
good job, Andy.
Yeah. And they completely cooked the front hub, and Brittany,
proud.
Like a fighter pilot with ice water in her veins, just rolls it into the pits. Doesn't wad it up, doesn't do nothing, brings it in. Yeah.
Awesome. And lastly, IOE went to Fireball Racing, and their Ford Fairlane.
Nice. Chrissy or Chris, I don't know which one of you did it, posted a what you're working on as you're working on the oil cooler, the cheap busted oil cooler. And a bunch of people responded to that.
Tom Pyrek was actually installing a cheap oil cooler to back up his expensive oil cooler.
Oh, well, he probably should think twice about that, because that's why ours broke. Randy Bish was working on his weird French car. He managed to get it to spit fire from both ends, and he has fuel and spark.
Right. We also had a picture of Bill Fisher lecturing his team before Thompson. Quote, "If we were trying to win, we would have brought different drivers. So don't try too hard and do something stupid." It's a great sentiment. Everyone agreed with that. And on the tubes, regarding our more than usual improvised show, Tim Burr said, "Hey, throw away the speaker. Mental has a new job in the intro. Make it permanent, please." He wasn't alone, because Al Jones said, "In the year I've been listening to the show, this is the first time I could actually hear the intro music. I vote the Mental remix becomes a regular thing with bonus added air guitar for YouTube viewers." Yep. And Turbo Car chimed in also. Love the intro to this one. Definitely make this permanent.
Wow.
All right. I'm going to have to bite
Not
the
doing
bullet.
that.
I'm going to have to bite the bullet and finally upgrade our software.
I
so
mean,
that I can play the music.
how many years has it been?
Something different than this speaker into the
Old
microphone.
205 years. That's it.
Right?
So the viewers also had some car related comments. I guess we
Turbo
should get to
car.
that.
Turbo car is the same comment.
Okay. It's the same comment. As far as the DSMs, Turbo Car is going to bust out his nerd hat and say, my dad worked at the Diamond Star Motors when it opened in Normal, Illinois in 1989. The only cars that are technically DSMs are the ones that came out of this factory, the Plymouth Laser, the Eagle Talon, and the Mitsubishi Eclipse, as the 3000 GT and Stealth were made in Japan. That's what I thought. The Chrysler Sebring and the Dodge Adventure are actually closer to the DSM, closer cousins to the DSM triplets, as they were in the same basic front unibody, save for the engine mounts and locations. They also were built in the same plant in Normal, Illinois. I know this because I am also a DSM nerd, having owned one and dailied one for 10-ish plus years.
And his nerd hat may be actually dig around, and yes, he's 100% correct. The following the same rules though, that DSM moniker not only includes those Sebrings and the Avengers, including the coupes, but additionally it's the Mitsubishi Mirage, Dodge / Plymouth Colt Eagle Summit sedans, and the Mitsubishi Galant. So when you were calling us out for the little 4-door Lancer DSM things that Autobahn classified them as DSMs, you were wrong.
No, it was the earlier ones that were.
Nah.
And the all-wheel drive Galants of fame in the DSM world were actually made in Japan. That's why they're so much better.
Better.
None of this matters.
I was like, how many people care? None right now.
The four
Yep.
said every DSM owner,
Right?
except for the recent C-Class one.
Okay. While we're all doing other stuff, the circus was at Barber. Even with a hard change at the last 5 minutes of the race, Tyler Stank was unable to take his literally boring BMW and get around Uncle Dave, who won by about 1.5 seconds. All to the background of the very exciting extended discussion about Purple Drink.
Like the comments and the comment people are like, well, technically Purple Drink, blah, 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 St. Louis. There was more history of Purple Drink in the comment section as I was watching that YouTube video.
Drank.
Drank.
It's drank.
Absolutely drank. I believe Ron Harrington, our man of many wonders, and Lady A were the color commentary because all of us were busy. We will be back for future Lemons iRacing. We promise. We will not punish you again.
or we will. It depends on your
don't
perspective. I don't know how this all works.
Yeah.
Speaking of punishment in racing,
we took the big cars to the short track Wartburger. This is our Monday night, by the way, the Monday night E1R tune up challenge. Have a good time. Get hit in the rear end by Tom Lamino Fest. Big cars on short tracks. Wartburger thief Aaron took the first one, and somehow Ian from Apex Adjacent showed up and crushed all of us in the second in his first real iRace. And I couldn't be there because I was in Chicago, but I'm glad to see that the Apex Adjacent folks are coming out. I can't wait to overcook a turn and push them right into the tire barrier.
Mental. What was the car that worked on those? Because for people that don't know these were fairly small asphalt ovals. Like one was a 4/10 and one was a tri-oval. And I put a weird mix of cars in. What were the ones that worked?
Well, of course, with the Wartburger, he had that offset. I don't know what the actual short track car with that
sprint cars. I think that's what I put in there.
Right. And he was lapping all of us multiple times. The rest of us all went with that. And Ian actually won with the Porsche. And
wow.
he was doing pretty good with the Porsche. And first race I had a Porsche, and I'm like, this is a disaster. Corey and I were just overcooking our tires, and I went with the truck, and wasn't doing awful. But Lamino was there, so a lot of us got our races adjusted. And
Concord Speedway. Wow, I'm looking at what we did. Concord Speedway with the RS3, a modified, a sprint car, the street stock, the NASCAR truck, and then the 718 Cayman. No wonder he won. Everything else is so terrible.
Well, they're all designed, they're all designed for oval stuff.
Second race.
Yeah, that's why I thought that was a weird mix, but I wasn't sure how it was going to turn out.
Oh, it was hilarious. It was good time. And it's not so much about racing; it's about us smashing into each other and laughing.
True.
Yeah.
Langley was the second track.
Yep. Anyway,
nice,
great.
All right, so go ahead.
I'm just trying to find it. I don't have a good.
Oh,
I don't have a good. That was a good.
Well, that's why I set up the throwback to the initial joke
I know.
at the beginning.
I know.
All right, if you're not feeling it, you're not feeling it.
It's too far. It's too far now. That's the problem.
You know who never drives a big car in a little track?
There you go.
Chrissy's mom.
yeah.
I don't know what that means.
That's a
for
good
those
one.
of us.
Like
for those that were wondering what the insider baseball was, it was a throwback to the Roadhouse
to the Dalton.
Joke.
That's fine. That's fine.
Yeah, it was too far removed. Oh well.
Oh well.
Speaking of too far removed.
So yeah.
Topic time.
Also, the main topic yet.
Yeah, we're doing
rolling right in?
No, they smushed
the
you too.
intro. Yeah.
Okay.
So at some point we did our 200th show, and we're supposed to have a 200th live show, and we're going to celebrate the milestone by having a live show and Ask Me Anything. But we keep getting it pushed around because Mental's not around, and then we have an interview, and then the interview cancels, and all this other things are going on.
We did promise you guys Kyle Smith, and he got a hold of me, and he's very apologetic. He got pulled into a press event. He's doing motorcycle stuff out in California, and so we've got him rescheduled. He's coming. It's going to be worth it. So sorry.
This is a press event. What's wrong with this press event? Press.
Give someone a free motorcycle and they'll show up, I guess.
Oh, that's true.
Yes, we 100% count as press anyone who might be listening to this episode because I applied for press passes to your event like PRI or the New York Auto Show. Yes, we count as
absolutely.
We were in SEMA, damn it.
We're media.
Yeah,
yes,
it's not our fault they haven't had SEMA live ever since we went. That's not the point.
It's also not our fault.
We had a really good prompt for this show to do our flashback, and it was so good we decided to make it the main topic. So it's flashback / main topic time. Main topic time. We're gonna build the perfect racetrack. And what do we mean by build the perfect racetrack? We are going to go deep into our knowledge of all the places that we have visited, and we are going to, like the Frankenstein's monster, take a piece from here and a piece from here and a piece from here and smash them all together and have something better than has ever been anywhere else. And it can't go wrong. Throw the lightning bolts. Let's make it happen. What is the perfect track, or how would we construct the perfect track?
I'm going to throw this out there and you guys are going to disagree because the travel's a pain in the butt, but I'm going to say the location is out here. It is a southwest track.
And we've got a lot of categories. Let's start with categories. One.
I thought he was saying location.
Yeah. Okay.
That's what he was referring to.
I'm agreeing with him. I'm saying there's more to it than just that. Like that, we've got a lot of categories we're going to go by. I'm outlining it. I'll agree with you, Mental, in general. South. I'm not going to say necessarily the Southwest, like the desert. I'm going to say like outside of Santa Barbara. If we're going for perfect, the weather is always wonderful. It
cools off just enough at night to where you need a coat. You want to stand next to the fire. Yeah.
Yeah.
Somebody's cat is very excited.
Asti likes Santa Barbara. It
Clearly.
stays warm there. It's nice. Like it's gorgeous. Plenty of other things to do. That's my perfect location.
So what track would you say we are going to move to Santa Barbara? What track?
We're making
our track.
I know, but we're gonna wipe whatever track is off the map. What's near Santa Barbara? I don't know what's near Santa Barbara.
Nothing.
Willow
is probably the closest.
Willow, okay. So
the Thunderhill is not too far out of it.
Thunderhill's up north of Bay Area. Like that's way up there.
It is.
Everybody's going to Google.
It's
the same,
yelling
it's
at the radio
because it's
Buttonwillow.
out in the middle of nowhere.
Buttonwillow is way closer than Thunderhill. So
All right.
Button Willow is none of those things you described. It is,
well, no, but he's saying which track we're going to wipe off the map.
Night. It's hot at night, then it gets hotter during the day.
Yeah.
I don't want dusty. That's why I'm trying to figure out exactly where we're talking about. I don't
That's
want
what I'm
nothing in the desert.
No, Santa Barbara it's up the coast from LA.
All right. I'm down with that. I love Southern California. I'll vote Southern California. Has to be Southern California, and we're going to get to that in a minute because the food is better in the southwest of California than in the north of California.
Okay.
Well, we can bring in.
We're going to get there. We're going to get there.
This we can make anything we want. We can have SoCal food in Minnesota if you want. This is
totally
fantasy.
we're getting the concession.
All right, we're getting the
like,
weeds.
For Pueblo
That's fine. We'll
Motorsports
get
Park.
there.
It's gonna be great.
Yeah. Ooh. Let's talk about the most important part of a racetrack.
Or skip over Chrissy about location.
Oh, sorry, Chrissy.
Oh, it's fine. I'll agree with you guys.
Wow, that
We
is the
most
most
all have
passive
to-
aggressive thing you have ever said in 204 shows.
Oh,
it's
that
not.
I'm sure it's
Not
not
even
at all.
I was going to say, we don't all
It's
have to
okay,
have
I'll
an
agree
opinion
with
about
you.
every single topic.
No, I mean, I like Santa Barbara. I think that's fine. I think it needs to be close enough to an airport. I would like that.
Oh, interesting.
Because it sucks when, like, to get to Button Willow, you have to fly in and then it's 2.5 hours away. So it sucks to try to get in and out of there. So I would like it closer to an airport.
Good call.
Yes, it's good. I'm good.
All
with
right. Let's talk about on-track facilities, and then we'll get to some other things. We'll talk about the track itself in the second part of the show. Now that we know where it is, what's on that track? Let's talk about the bathrooms.
I would like the bathrooms from New Hampshire, but I want the attendants from Barber.
But the bathrooms at Barber are pretty good too.
They are.
Especially
There's not as many. There's not as many showers.
Well, so you know what?
Yeah.
So this is I have to say that's what happens in the men's room. The women's room at New Hampshire is not as nice. I'm serious.
No.
Not,
And
it's not as big.
Because it was an old NASCAR track. Why we need a women's room in the
You're
driver's
absolutely right. Right.
area.
No, but there are 3 stalls and 2 showers in the women's room, which is
I
fine.
never knew that.
Yeah, it's tiny. And so it's not. So if it was equal, then I would say it's great. So that's why I'm saying the women's room at Barber is better because I assume it's equal and it's large.
It's exactly the same size.
Right.
Yeah, they do the mirror image thing. That's a good point. That's an excellent point.
I like the Barber bathroom set up a little better than New Hampshire, although New Hampshire thaws the best turkeys in the shower.
Yes.
Barber
Yes.
places bathrooms all throughout the facility that are equally fantastic.
That's what we're doing.
While New Hampshire has one giant place that is
Right in
nice,
the middle.
and then in the outskirts they have all the crappy ones.
Yep. And they're far away from the crappy ones. So if you're out in the outskirts, you have to either go out to almost the edge of the oval, or you go all the way in. So I love that idea to be able to put the nice ones
Little
in
ones
multiple places.
all over the place.
I like that idea too. I like even though how about Barber's bathrooms, but with doors that close and potentially heaters, because sometimes it gets a little cold in there.
Oh,
That's true. Because Barber's just the walk-in. I mean, they do like the
Yeah.
maze thing. That's an excellent.
Oh, I like that idea.
yeah.
Heaters are clutch, especially when when it's New
In
Hampshire
New
and
Hampshire,
it's cold.
Yeah, absolutely.
You might just spend a little bit more time in the bathroom.
Every Thursday of that race, I'm usually the one lighting the heater in New Hampshire, clearing out the pilot and working.
Good. Thanks. Just don't light yourself on fire, please.
Yeah.
Thanks.
No, I'm
Good.
trained.
Okay. I like this idea. Multiple good bathrooms. Yep.
I'm going to throw it out here. Someone pick a topic from the list. It doesn't have to be the next one. Who wants to talk about something?
Because I want to go last when we discuss management, because I'm going to trump all of you and you're going to agree with me when I'm done.
All right. So yeah, somebody pick something off the list they feel passionate about.
That's what I just did. So
No, he said he wants to go last. On that
but
topic.
he picked the topic though. So all right,
Chris gets subtlety.
I'll get the start of it. What track manager seems to really have their act together? I'm gonna say Sonoma has their act together. Like everything seems to run on time. There's always enough corner workers. There's enough of everything. The place is clean. Although I heard that Miller was the best for this. Like you turn around and someone was already sweeping up behind you, like because they're really that great. So, but I don't know if that's still the way. So I'm going to say Sonoma, big track that has their act together, knows how to put on a big event, knows how to keep things moving, friendly to people like us, but can also put on like actual, real, serious pro racing stuff.
Multiple disciplines at that.
Yeah.
That's a good one. Sonoma's solid.
I'm sure this is not what Mental was going to say, but the management of Thompson was great. This past race, they were great. I asked Kim how things were going, and she said they are. I think she said maybe the best on the East Coast, but said they're one of the best. They are concerned. They're very easygoing. They're accommodating to everybody that anyone that wants something. They probably don't have the multidiscipline.
They do drifting and
sure. Yeah. I mean, they're
not on the scale of Sonoma,
right?
But.
And their corner workers weren't 100%, but I think for the most part, management wise, they seem to be pretty high up there. So I'm just going to go with that one.
Okay, I want the old management at Thompson. Not that the new management is not fantastic, but there was that track manager who I could tell loved every joke I ever gave, and he was the best straight man ever. Every Abbott needs a Costello.
He hated Jeff so much, listeners. He hated him. He hated him so much he quit.
Loved me. He would, like, when I would do something like raise my hand and ask him if he was a top or a bottom or a sub or a dom when I was in my GIMP costume.
He had you with the shark.
Or when I had the shark puppet.
The shark.
He had the greatest, like, the most important thing about comedy is timing. And he had the greatest, like, pause, stare, roll eyes, then answer question. It was like, yes, you have a question.
Good.
Yeah.
Is that your answer? Your real answer? Oh, yeah. Okay.
I love that guy.
Now, I do feel like we're crossing the streams a little bit, but everyone has made a really good point about staff versus management. And management is usually like one individual or a group of individuals. And I don't think any of you have any of you raced at Autobahn?
Nope.
One lap.
Okay.
Yeah, one lap, but we didn't see anybody.
Yeah.
So, Autobahn Country Club, which is surrounded by very expensive, garages and pros race there and that sort of thing. Their manager is Mike Ritter, and Mike Ritter is so good that Lemons hires him to do other races at other tracks. This past weekend, I've raced at Autobahn. I've instructed at Autobahn. I did grid life at Autobahn, but I've never actually worked that race. And we're showing up an hour before we open the tech booth because it's just done. We're leaving. We're going off to the dirt track because it's just done. Everything that the staff needed. And by the way, the members were having a member day on the other course. So they're running the South course. We're running the good course. And Mike and his number 2 guy, Kyle, are seamlessly handling everything. Jay would roll in 30 minutes before lunch, go buy us all lunch, and then leave because there were just no problems. And either he heard about the, and I don't want to steal the next topic, either he heard about it or he's just always adhered to it. But the testing day was the testing day rules that we all want, which is pay money, drive car. Passengers, sure, don't care, not my problem. The only thing that bothered the Detroit bus guys is you had to be 18. So he could take any of the underage people out on the track. But Mike Gritter ran MSR for Lemons last year, and he's probably going to come down there again this year. The guy, he's been doing this. And if you do this sport long enough, you will notice that a lot of tracks tend to change managers quite often. Mike Gritter's been there for 10 years. And this is a country club track where the bunch of entitled rich people, and Mike's just that far in front of it, So shameless plug, Mike Ritter, his number 2 guy, Kyle, those guys. You give me those two and put them in front of any track, it'll be awesome.
Nice. Does he also work the grid and the false grid? My Gritter.
He'll
See, I put
get-
the space, the different. I meant his name, my critter.
Still never as good as Dale.
No.
well, say in this situation, he gives people to Dale.
There you
Yeah.
go.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because it's Dale.
I was
Dale
trying
and
to do like a
Ken
Mike Hunt thing,
Yeah, and of course, Ken was there this weekend too, so it was just a fantastic time.
Nice.
Okay.
Good one.
A related one I'm passionate about is testing day rules.
Yep.
And I'm going to go with Thompson because
Well, and
They-
similarly to, it sounds
Yeah,
like to Julia.
exactly.
Yep.
Sorry. Yep. It's Thompson was cheap. It was $150 and it was,
Per car, not driver.
yeah, it was just put a band on the car. Go drive your car as long as you've signed the Lemons waiver. That's it. Oh, you passenger instruction? Yeah, sure. As long as they're wearing safety gear. Yep, absolutely. Go for it. They ran all day. Quick
Small break for lunch for
Yep.
corner workers.
It was like
Fine.
a half-hour break, and then but they ran the whole day. They were quick to get cars off when they were
Yeah, I was
broken.
gonna say,
Like
hot
hot
pit-
poles.
hot
pit
poles.
bulls.
Yep.
Yep, that was wonderful. When like, at the drivers meeting for that, it's basically we said, "You gotta do blend line. You gotta go all the way down turn one." You guys know the flags, right? Okay, good. Have a good time. that was the drivers meeting. And then someone said, "How about passengers?" He's like, "Whatever you guys want to do." So
Well, that's how
Allow me
Thompson
to-
is all the time. But yes.
Yeah.
Allow me to ask a question. How many incidents did you have on that practice day?
This year or last year? Because I believe last year.
Shut up.
Chris
Answer the
got
question.
punted
Answer the
off
good
the-
question.
now this year I didn't see anything significant happen, and I was out there a lot. We
I'm
all
sure
were.
there was a dead car or two. I'm
Yeah,
sure
but I
those
didn't see
were
any.
happening.
I didn't see any contact or anything like that.
That and it just worked. You don't have to over legislate it.
Yep.
Go talk to the hotheads individually, but you don't have to make a bunch of rules. You don't need a 2-hour meeting. Just go.
No. Mm-mm.
Yeah.
Just need to know the rules or
I
what
have
they
nothing
expect.
to add to this. I'm just waiting for the next one.
Agreed.
Okay.
You're right.
Great.
Yeah.
Nice.
Oh.
Someone pick a topic.
I want to talk about the architecture, like
Okay.
not the architecture like of the buildings, like the grounds, the layouts.
Oh, yeah.
Like all of that. Like you sit in there and you're like, wow, this place is pretty well kept, well, whatever. And I'm gonna just steal the thunder, and you can all agree that it's Barber.
Like
It's
what
totally
else?
Barber.
What
It's
else
100%
even comes
Barber.
close?
Yeah.
Well,
No.
I would say that Monticello came really close to that. That place was also like the blades of grass were all standing in the same row, but it wasn't fun and funky.
Yeah.
Like it was beautiful and everything was perfect. But
I don't.
Barber
I only
was
remember
nice
being
and
cold
fun.
there.
And with the sculptures and the
Yeah. And there's like
Yeah.
hidden sculptures, and
the
you kind of like
terraces and
see guys. You're like, oh, I feel like sometimes I see things I didn't see there before.
Yeah.
Yes.
And as a spectator, there's so many great places at
Yeah.
Barber,
Mhm.
like with a great view of so much of and it's a
And-
huge track,
and a museum.
of course.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, do we want to do, is there architecture building wise? I mean, also Barber is great. The grandstand kind of building is pretty awesome. The
3-story,
Yeah,
indoor
yeah,
and
yeah.
outdoor.
yeah, that's pretty awesome. I mean, is there anything else that's if there's other
I
buildings
have
of
heard wonderful things about the new grandstand at Atlanta AMP.
Okay.
I've not been there, so I have not seen it, but I saw it
haven't- yeah,
from the
Michelin
outside.
building.
And
Yeah.
I'm going to throw an
Um,
honorable mention to VIR because it's all the barn stuff
Ooh.
Yes.
because it's not
Yes.
fancy, but it's characteristic for the land and for what happened. And the theme carries over well
Love it.
everywhere. And it's actually
Love
all
it.
very nicely done.
I
Yes.
love it. I think that's great. They match. It has a lot of the same things that we've said before. Yeah, I like it.
Plenty of bathrooms, plenty of stuff. Like it's all, it
Oh, yeah,
fits all
it's
together.
That would have fallen out of my off my radar if you had mentioned. And also just the land around it is beautiful as well. It's a small tower because it's still a club level track, but the tower at Button Willow is nice. You can get up there, you can get on the balcony, you can see the whole track. It's
Never been
a
there.
nice building.
We've
And
been
the
I
there.
remember-
garages aren't.
Yeah, I never went on the tower. I'll always remember it's the dust and waving my arms to be in the bathroom, see where it was.
I don't remember that being
is all
particularly good.
Still there, and
Yeah.
the showers on the outside of the bathrooms. Yeah, Corey was the last time we were there. Corey was like, "Well, that gust of wind gave a bunch of people a show because I was in mid soap."
Oh, I didn't realize that they even put.
And like the plastic curtain kind of.
I didn't know there was a plastic curtain. The one when we were there wasn't any. Although it was December, so that's why we weren't. I had 8 layers of clothing, so I wasn't actually.
When you guys come out next month, I'll show you the super secret indoor bathroom that's nice and big and roomy and has miles and gallons of hot water. So
great.
Done.
Okay.
Hot water. No one has better hot water than Pittsburgh.
Yep.
Pittsburgh will boil your skin with
more
so
than
much
New
hot
Hampshire.
water. Yes.
Well, New Hampshire, you got to wait for it. Like if no one's taken a shower recently, you got to turn like all of the showers on, wait for 5 minutes, and then you have good hot water.
And all of it, because it's an inline heater, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Pittsburgh, you turn the hot water thing and the devil says, "Are you ready?" Ready?
You don't even get any bread thrown.
You're totally not ready. You're not ready. All right. That's good.
All right. I like it.
So the setup, it says that we've got 2 in here, and it says pits and pit lane. Are we talking paddock and pit lane, or like
paddock, like the area where the teams are, and then actual pit, like hot pits?
Okay. And these are 2 very specific, different things, and are very important.
So what do you think?
I'm trying to think of one that I like better than the others, and I'm not coming up with anything
for either of those.
I liked. Go on. I want to hear other people's opinions because I'm not sure.
I feel like I'm cheating, but all of the NASCAR tracks, when we're allowed access, the paddock area are great because it's usually the giant indoor garages, and you have space, but it's also inherently social because there's no walls. So Charlotte, New Hampshire, Texas or Texas Motor, Texas
garage
World.
Space, absolutely the NASCAR.
So yeah, your NASCAR owned facilities that have those nice big, that
host
ones,
cup events.
Yes,
because they have
the New Hampshire ones. Like Sorry for Party rents one and then puts a living room in one side of it. It's great. So Charlotte, New Hampshire. I'm trying to think of some of the Texas World. I know I'm missing one.
I'm going to give an honorable mention to New Jersey Thunderbolt paddock because it's big. It's got lots of power everywhere.
Oh, yes.
It's got lots of garages. It's got the VIP hotel rooms right there. So a lot of people stay there. It facilitates a lot of people around a discussion, I think, and it doesn't have the dividers that some of them do. Like New Hampshire's paddock, it's great, but it's got those fences and it kind of creates different worlds.
Also, if you're in north or south, if you're in one or the other, you never see each other, right? Like if you're out in the other place, you just say, "Oh wait, you're here. You're on the I have to get on Scooty to go find you.
You're in the itchy lot.
You're in the itchy lot. Thank you."
You've got to have lots of power poles. You've got to have lots of room and lots of garages.
Okay, I buy it.
So that's I think one thing New Jersey does okay. Yeah.
See, I like New Jersey, but I thought it was just because it was close to home.
Well, but it's also open wide. So it's not, you can take as much or as little space as you want, which is kind of nice. I mean, it's kind of, if you take we've taken the whole peninsula before, but, which is not the nice part, but it's nice to be able to not be limited because like at Thompson, which is not on this even, it's not even on the list, but you have your parking spot. Yes. And the same thing goes with New Hampshire. When you are in New Hampshire, you have your parking spot. We have moved.
If you have a garage, yes.
Yes, right.
If you're out and out in the garage,
you have more space. Yeah. But then you have no power. So then
there's power out there too.
Is all the way?
Oh yeah, there's lots of power in New Hampshire.
Lots of power in New Hampshire, yeah.
Yeah, I just remember people stealing ours through the fence. That's the only reason why I was thinking that there was no power over there.
Well, because we paid for our box and it was open. So
sure. Yes. Yep. I like
it.
Okay.
Yes.
Anyone else on paddock?
No, I love that. I'm gonna vote Jersey.
Okay. All right.
Because you know why? It's also never muddy. Even if it rains, sometimes it floods.
Oh, I'm sorry. How
We
you
had
remember
to
that
build bridges.
we built a
I
bridge?
know,
and-
but it's sand.
It wasn't a bridge. It was a Robin Hood-esque interpretation of Venice network of planks and ramps to get around.
And that was the year I didn't bring flip flops, so I just wore Jeff's.
Yep.
That happened.
Oh,
All
all
right.
right. Next,
I'm gonna go pit lane,
Pit lane,
and
okay.
it's NASCAR track. New Hampshire, they're
Yeah.
big. There's plenty of room. That's easy. That like they're right by the paddocks. You're not walking far to get there.
Lots of fence
It's level.
access.
Yeah, there's
Good.
fence holes. Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
They're great.
Not as good, but similar. I actually am going to say Road Atlanta infield. The outfield pit lane has all the same features. It's elevated, it's wide, there's a lot of space, there's a lot of access to it, but it's at the bottom of a hill. So it's always a pain in the butt when you've got like that fuel cart you're trying to control. The one on the infield's a lot more level.
Agreed. That's a good one.
I like Thompson because it's right there. It's like right where all the action is.
Well, when you have a garage, it's right there.
Well,
Like,
you're right. You're right. You're
People
right.
who are
Great
in
for
itchy,
us.
right? They park at itchy 4. They got a half
That's
mile
true.
walk.
That was
Yeah.
that was the entire inspiration behind the half Dan pit vehicle train. That was to be able to get all of the fuel that caddy drinks.
It's great if you're standing there.
Yeah.
True. Okay, I'll change it then.
Okay.
Laguna's pits, I thought were also very nice because the
Opposite
building was
problem.
right there.
Yeah, opposite
Everybody
problem
was
of
there.
Road
You could
Atlanta.
see everything. It was a great place to see. You weren't far from it. It was,
Mhm.
it created a nice spectating area.
Yep,
What's
it is.
up?
It's hilly.
Yeah, well, it depends on where you are. We were
Yeah.
nicely in a garage right there
Okay,
again.
yeah.
Right?
All right, yeah.
Again,
So
when
that makes it
when we
easier.
think about where you are standing, not the whole facility.
There's
you
a
have
theme
to-
here, people. Yeah.
Yeah.
Jeff goes in bougie places.
With
True.
garages. Yeah.
All right.
Yes.
So let's do some review because I think we're going to move on to the actual racetrack now in
Wow, there's
Southern
one more.
California. Oh, there's one more. I missed one.
The on-site facilities.
Oh, okay.
Like,
We'll do that one.
I'll go.
So and so for our listeners, while my co-hosts are gathering their thoughts, we're talking about the food. So a good concession stand.
It doesn't
fuel.
have to be. This was
Okay.
I was trying to think of how all of the rest of the stuff that lives there. So when I just wrote that, I should say, etc. This is like when you go to a place, it has all of these things.
Okay.
And that doesn't fit necessarily in within the other things that I was thinking of.
Yeah. Let's just list all the good things it's got to have.
Basically.
Fuel,
Gotta have-
on-site fuel, not overpriced on-site fuel.
Sure.
I understand you got to make a profit, but come on now.
Mm-hmm.
$5 a gallon
Classrooms.
for 98 octane. No.
New Jersey, I'll have a guy
Food.
pump it for you.
Yeah.
That's not any consolation. I have my
The
answer.
food better have a breakfast place.
Okay.
And New Hampshire has a fantastic breakfast. Sometimes when the rest of my group is sleeping one off, I go there and I get a fresh cup of coffee and I get a little egg sandwich. And there are people there like getting pancakes on a platter. Their breakfast, legit.
But
Honorable
as-
mention to. Oh, I'm sorry, Chrissy. Go. No, I'm not doing it.
No, it's
I'm
okay.
not.
As a whole, though, all of the things.
Sorry, I'm a
But
little distracted. Either someone is stealing my car or my wife is leaving.
Cool. And
Okay.
they are,
Who would
storm-
steal a sky blue Veloster?
I don't know.
I am going with VIR as my on-site facilities location.
That is a great snack bar.
It's on-site, lives there, so it has I didn't get any food there, but they were open. They have a nice pavilion picnic area. They have a bunch of different classrooms. They had they had an in pavilion area for seating right at the snack bar, but they also had a really nice canopied area that they were having a car show when we pulled in.
Ooh.
And they have upper little garage overhang type things. I like them as a whole for all of the different things that are available. I don't actually know if they must have fuel. They have fuel. It's right on the corner. Yeah.
So I like the VAR one too. I think I'm going to go with that with an honorable mention of Pit Race, because Pit Race only has a concession trailer for their food. Otherwise, Pit has beautiful buildings, ample space, nice classrooms. Everything's in great condition.
Classrooms are very nice.
Right.
And we didn't go in the new building. They have a new building there. So actually they might be, I don't know what's in the new building, but they might actually have on-site
That's true.
food
That might
there
be the
too.
food then now. The new,
Okay. I buy you.
But,
Can I say one?
Yeah.
Ice cream shop. Recently discovered there's an ice cream shop in Thompson.
So now you think
track needs to have an ice cream shop.
Now you think that Thompson is the best because you found ice cream.
Ice cream.
I think that's the limitation at Barber too, is that their food service is food trucks. Wonderful classrooms, and I love that when it's cold in February, which is usually the case, they can do all of the awards indoors and everyone's not on top of each other.
Not anymore.
Oh,
well,
yeah.
not now, not COVID today.
But yeah, their food is only the food truck that comes through. And by contrast, for everything that is wrong at Button Willow, they actually, for a track day, they've got a nice indoor area. They've got a covered area because it gets hot as armpits at Button Willow.
As armpits.
But you've got a nice covered pavilion area, and they do have on-site fuel, which is good because it's a little expensive. The nearest bizarro cheap corner gas station is still like 5 miles away.
Oh no.
But the snack bar there is really good. So it's excellent for a track day or an HPDE. For a race. But facility wise, and then also, as much as we love Laguna, god awful. No showers, no place to plug in an RV, no snack bar. Yeah, Laguna.
Yeah.
I'm going to throw out something else. I want, in my perfect track, a second event space. I thought it was cool that NJMP could host Radwood at the same time. I love at Pittsburgh when they have the Drifto guys or the autocross going on and the kart track. New Jersey has a kart track, but we never go. We always go to the kart track at Pittsburgh. We never go to the kart track at Jersey. But also like New Hampshire has like that killer Drifto weekend, and they have the pumpkin chunkin',
yes,
and all that other stuff. So I want a place that has enough space where something else fun is happening.
I would argue you brought up the go-karts. Our dream track has a go-kart track.
Yeah,
sure.
Absolutely.
Two.
Atlanta Motorsports Park, NCM, Pitt.
And, Alex Levinson can be the manager of the go-kart track.
You're hired at the perfect track.
Hired.
Done.
Yes.
Company car
exactly.
is a Cordoba. Okay.
All right.
So
I like
let's-
to. I
I
like
want to
your
review.
second event. This is.
I
good.
want to review. Southern California. Bathrooms were a mixture of New Hampshire and what did we decide?
Barber.
The
New Hampshire
is,
Bathrooms, Barber staff.
There you go.
Mike Gritter's running the track.
Mike Ritter's running the track.
The bathrooms have to be heated and air conditioned. Too.
Yeah.
Yes.
And all over the place.
$150 track rental for testing day, where you just do whatever you want
For the car.
Yeah.
I'd be willing to pay $200 for the car. Yeah.
The pit space is going to be near, not uphill, not downhill. It's going to be big and wide and have lots of entryways.
Lots of garages.
Lot
lots
power.
Of power.
Lots of power, lots of garages, NASCAR garages. There's going to be a great classroom, a kart track, fuel that is not too expensive. It's going to be really funky and have lots of bathrooms everywhere with weird gargoyles and things like Barber has.
So crazy.
Big
Anything else that I
pit
missed?
lanes with lots of fence access between them, and plenty of room to move around.
An ice cream shop.
Yep. A track manager who has good timing.
Who's funny. Bonfire on the week. Okay. Anyway,
Okay.
let's move on to the actual racetrack.
Yeah, who cares at this point?
I know, really.
I'm drunk. I'm drunk on the toilet full of ice cream.
Yeah.
So yeah,
And it's warm
Yeah.
if you want it to
I'm not
be.
leaving. Yeah.
Let's get to the actual track.
Okay.
Someone say something that their track has to have.
Good long main straight that's not just flat.
I want a kink in the main straight.
Do you,
okay. So
do you?
I'm thinking Road America.
Ooh,
It's
I've
a
never
long
driven.
straight, but it's got this like uphill thing,
Gosh, it's
and
kind
then
of
it's kind of downhill a bit into the braking zone of one.
and the braking
like-
zone into one, and there's a freaking wall in front of you,
Yeah.
and it's crazy. I mean, yes.
Is it like blind on the other side, or does it just rise and fall?
No, when you're going up the hill, you can't see over the top.
I'm there. I'll take
Mental.
that.
Have you been?
and
been
we
to
were
Road
going
America?
140 in the Mercedes.
Have you haven't been there just at all, but you've
not meat space. No.
and
Yeah.
we're
But
missing
yes,
stuff. Road
A nice-
America.
a good gut check. Keep it matted. Maybe the road's still there. Maybe they moved it after the last lap. The back of your mind. Oh, I can't see. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah. Oh, it's good.
Scares you a little
Chris,
bit.
we might be missing some aspects of Road. I forgot about a Road America. We might be missing some
the
aspects.
The facilities weren't great. The paddocks weren't great, but I think come to the track, we may come back to Road America for
there.
something.
Okay. Good.
It's
Good
it's
thought.
not the main straight, but they call it the back straight, but literally it's turn one is kind of like 90 degrees, and then you're on the secondary straight. The back straight at Hallett is exactly like that. It's you've got to nail the launch out of one, and then it's up and over. And I have gone airborne on that one, and then but it settles back flat. But the whole time you're charging up that hill, your brain is going, can't see the road, lift, can't see the road. Yeah, I love that.
Can I go back one item?
Sure.
The turn before the main straight. I want it
Okay.
to be a deceptive sweeper. It's very important.
Like Jersey light bulb.
Like Jersey light bulb, or actually I was thinking like the tail of the devil, or whatever they call that at Jersey, like the one
Okay.
that's the decreasing radius. But like I think a sweeper that is a little bit complex is a great lead up to the longest straight, because as we know, the most important turn of the racetrack is, Chrissy,
Oh, the turn before the straight.
the turn before the longest straight. And I think a deceptive sweeper would be really fun with a lot of traffic. Because remember, what we're doing is not like time
And
trial racing. It's like
Road America has that. Like you come up
Yeah.
to it, and the way it's angled, you can't quite tell. Like,
And it's
not
all
as
uphill.
long, but it's like a
like-
90 degree. So it's not as long a sweeper as you're looking for, but the same
well, it
kind
doesn't
of
need
thing.
to be a long sweeper. It just needs to be like a sweeper.
Next time we're
And-
not
and
doing.
and a lot of grass runoff for the spectacular offs,
Yes.
but you don't want anybody to get hurt.
Yeah.
You just
Plenty
wanna
of
go,
runoff from is
"Oh!"
plenty of runoff from
Plenty of-
is
It's
let's put that in
everywhere.
right now.
Yeah,
Plenty
yeah,
of runoff from.
So my one question is, since we wanted this is not on the list. All of these questions when we're trying to draw the track, I feel like we kind of need to figure out what kind of cars we want to show up. It's not just lemons, right? But like, do we want like Watkins? Also forgot about Watkins. That didn't. Do we want NASCAR? Do we want like? I don't know if it matters so much, but when Jeff is talking about, I want a tiny sweeper. I want
Not tiny sweeper.
I'm sorry,
sweeper.
a whatever you said, deceptive sweeper. I was thinking small, whatever. Then you can't put big cars there necessarily. So I was just trying to think of if you
Sure you
want
can.
maybe one-time trials.
Oh.
It's like they were listening to me.
Ice cream delivery.
Not only did my
Yeah.
car not get stolen, my family went to Dairy Queen
And they
and brought
got
me a
you
peanut
ice
butter
cream?
sundae.
That's awesome.
Thanks,
I-
Josh.
I absolutely do want NASCARs on our road course, because NASCARs on our road course are awesome. It's so much fun to watch.
Yeah, I want everything.
Okay.
But you name it, it can be there.
Okay. Never
Okay.
mind then.
That's good.
All right. Anything else on main straights? Is there any other examples we want to use or anything else?
I like everything we said.
I like
I
it
don't
too.
think we can improve it.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Anybody got another, like, let's talk about segments, maybe not a specific turn,
Right.
but is there a segment somebody wants to throw in?
Every
So many.
there needs to be at least one legendary gut check style turn. Obviously the 11
Give me a
into-
for instance. I don't know.
the
what we're
11
talking
into 12 into Road Atlanta, the corkscrew and the turn immediately following the turn before and after the corkscrew at Laguna. Everything where your experience, your brain says, stay planted, hold the line, do this, and your subconscious is going, we're gonna die.
But do you want so many of them though?
No, just one.
Oh,
I
just
want
one. You need
rock solid
okay.
gut check to the point where everyone who's ever driven Road Atlanta knows that corner. Everyone knows Laguna. To a
corner,
degree,
the one after the corkscrew is the best corner on Laguna, because
right.
you just go into it and you go.
But I don't
turn
think that one
at
is
Barber is a bit of a because you got to set it and hang, and your brain is saying lift, and you're going, no, you will stay planted, car. And bring it in.
The last turn at Road Atlanta is the scariest turn I've ever raced. Like I thought it was scarier than the corkscrew. I'll be honest with you. The downhill
turn 9 at Atlanta Motorsports Park is the same way. It's straight up to a blind corner and a right.
No, I'm talking about at Atlanta
I know.
Motorsports.
I'm saying, but yeah,
straight down the hill. Road Atlanta. Straight down the hill, and then you just kind of go right, and the wall is right there, and the bridge, the Fox Bridge. You have to you literally have to aim at a color on the bridge to know where the track is.
Love it. Yeah,
absolutely the best gut check, whatever you're saying, testicular fortitude I've ever driven.
Every track needs a legendary level gut check corner. So it can't be like the one at Road Atlanta, because there's already one at Road Atlanta. You just have to have we're building a perfect course. It will present itself. Actually, cresting the hill at VIR when you're running the full long course. After you take the right one at Oak Tree, and then it's the downhill S's.
It's the straight that's fairly straight, that's kind of wobbly, and then you have to brake right after the crest of the hill. Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, gut check. Love it.
All right,
gotta have one of those.
Love it
in there.
Sign me up.
All right. Let's talk about elevation change. So. Every good track has to have it.
Yeah.
Atlanta Motorsports Park, which none of you guys have ever done, is the most entertaining level of elevation changes outside of Laguna I have ever had, and it is awesome. Barber, close second.
So the ridge is ours, and I was actually thinking of the gut check, my last corner that I almost endoed a mini. Truth, that corner is one of the better ones. It's supposed to be like the corkscrew, but it's harder, I think.
Yeah, it's a harder left. It's just wonk.
Yeah, and
then you use it up to the right.
And I really didn't do it right the first time. So I think the elevation changes at the ridge are amazing. We did talk about architecture, but the redwoods, like the trees around the ridge, is amazing too. So you can have pretty sculptures, but some awesome trees are nice too. After the runoff.
As long as you're not going to hit them.
That's right, after the runoff.
I love it. I love it. All the elevation change you're talking about.
Oh,
anything in particular, Jeff?
No. I have not been I'm an East Coaster who has mostly been to the East. So my elevation changes have not been great. Obviously, I love the corkscrew. The corkscrew is probably the best elevation change. I already talked about the downhill in Atlanta. So Road Atlanta.
Turn 1 at Coda.
I just thought of something.
Your apex is
over there.
Oh.
Yeah. And you've just come up a hill, so you've got full suspension compression. That's a good one.
And then you lose it right as you're turning.
Exactly. Yes.
I just thought of something that we need to have at our track.
Go ahead.
Okay.
Sheep. Because we have nothing from Sonoma yet. Because Sonoma
deer.
just does everything.
No deer.
I know.
No deer.
Yeah. No
No,
deer.
Sheep are very nicely
organized
controlled.
sheep. They're just eating the grass.
They're
These
organized.
they are. Yeah, they're let out of pens. They come back into wherever they go. They're let off different places.
Yeah.
Yes. So we need some sheep. Maybe
Deer hate boats, and hence we hate deer.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. No.
And I would offer also, there's the closest example, and I hate because I keep doing stuff you guys don't know, but an off camber turn that you never feel you have right. At Hallett, it's called the bitch, and it's depending on which direction you're running, it's turn 10, and it's you're like this, but you have to go right up a hill, and no matter how many times you do it, you're always like, God, there's just one more thing. Madness at Mid Ohio, there's a couple, just the turn that you never feel like you get right, just to always give you a puzzle to work on. Should be challenging.
Like the top of the hill at VIR. What is that?
Oh yeah, totally.
Like, yeah. I know too. All right. So here's another segment that I think we need to incorporate somehow. Jeff, I know you're going to back me up on this one.
I hope you're going to say what I think I'm going to say.
Summit Point Shenandoah.
Yes. I was just going to say that.
Carousel, and then that little thing out of the carousel,
Totally.
and then that little weird downhill kink thing,
yes,
right?
We're doing
that
it.
segment.
I was
the
actually
best
just
part of that track.
Just thinking about.
Okay. I'm going to link right here. Right here is going to be a segment of the boat going through that section, rocketing out of the carousel and dancing through that left and right past all these people because we did it right and they didn't.
Yeah.
That segment is amazing.
Segment. Yeah.
Amazing.
The Wartburg really came alive there too, because you knew you got it right when you heard the tires getting chewed up by the fenders.
When the Honda would drag the mud flap and it cut the mud flap at an angle.
Yeah.
And the body would like flex back and forth and hit the cage.
Yeah.
It would go stink, stink, stink.
Gotta have a carousel.
Gotta have a carousel.
Proper
absolutely.
180 carousel.
Watch this, guys. I'm done. We got everything we need. We already built my favorite track.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm going to say one more thing, though.
Oh, what? I thought we're done.
No. We're done on the turns. I want crazy pavement transitions like we have at New Hampshire and like we have at Thompson. I want a point where the pavement is all of a sudden different.
Why?
Because I think that's fun.
Puzzle. Got to solve the puzzle.
Like coming out from under the bridge at Thompson, where the pavement just drops away.
Mm-hmm.
I'm with him. I'm actually going to go with him on this one because
well, we can have the drifters go over there. And
yeah, it looks pretty when it's all the same surface. And I'd run Hallett for years, and it was like down to CMP levels of, aggregate, and it was just rocks, and they completely repaved the track. And it was hilarious the first event that everyone went there because everyone went sailing off in turn one because they were completely unprepared for it. And then I went back when I ran with the dead pedal guys, and it had worn back in, and they'd had to patch it and repair it and add this and do that. And it was way more fun again because you couldn't stop paying attention, and you had to know what pavement had grip and what pavement didn't have grip. Yeah.
Absolutely. Okay. This is a pretty great track we've got here.
I got to go gamble now to win like $750 million to go
how about
build
some
this
lottery or something?
Exactly,
Like,
totally. And by the way, folks, when I build the perfect track, everyone who listens, you're all invited. Just rock up and tell us what the password is for our E1R races. Free track.
By then, they'll probably be sponsoring us too. So there's that.
Totally.
Right? We'll need sponsors.
Yes.
This is awesome.
Right. This was awesome.
Anything else we're missing?
Yeah. What else are we missing?
The snack bar will have Chrissy's mom's cookies.
Toads.
But then my mom
has
has to work there.
The tower.
A tower to watch.
Your
from
mom
is
has
necessary.
your mom has to boss people who work there.
I guess.
Because she'll be like the best person they've ever worked for. So it'll be great.
I never go to the tower in New Jersey.
There's always so many people there.
Every time I go, why don't I come up here more often?
Yeah.
I'm going to add one more thing.
Or New Hampshire, where you're.
That was Monticello.
That was Monticello.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah. One more thing. Next to the ice cream stand, I want a small water park because when it's really hot, like
I'll even take like a slip and slide and and a like a
We need one of those little kids splashdown places.
At like downtown where like it's artwork, and they come up at different times. Just a 12 by 12 square with like the random of fountains, and like as you get out of the car and you're dying, and you just walk through that and get a couple of splashes.
I like what she's saying. It's like the kids splashdown places where it's got the random
that's what I'm
places,
saying.
And like the bucket fills up
the
and
bucket
you do the
fills up
bucket,
and
right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
But it doesn't have to be
And
like
the
that
other
big.
Jets that are everywhere. Yeah.
Right.
The problem
Small
is you
water
can't.
park.
Okay, hold on. So the problem is that we need an adult water park and a kid water park because
No kids.
Well,
no kids.
But when you
Leave
have
the kids at home.
listen, you have the spectators, and when you're racing and they have nothing else to do, they're going to go to the water park. And it's weird if Uncle Weirdo is in his just got out of his racing suit and it's disgusting, and he's in our water park. He's standing next to little Jimmy that Jimmy's like, really?
No.
Really?
And it's our dream track, so our adult water park would also have the hot tubs.
Of course.
Ew. I will never go in that hot tub.
That's why I said Great Wolf Lodge.
It will have Vegas levels of like automated cleaning, cycling the water through.
Okay.
Okay. Like the Rio, it'll be that level of.
I guess. Okay. Dream track. I'm trying to think of reality, which I don't have
there's
to.
No reality. We lost reality a long
Okay,
time.
fine. No kids. Adult water park.
Well, and the adult water park also dispenses White Claw.
I was going to say swim up bars.
Swim up bar.
Right?
Oh my gosh. This
topless section, bottomless section, whichever.
This is the most amazing.
I'm sorry. We're off the rails now.
And there goes that the explicit rating.
I started with a curse
We've
word.
always had one. So, right.
This is
boy. Let's wrap this up before we get in trouble. Around
folks,
the horn.
you got stuff. Yeah, you got stuff that we missed. Things that we need to add on there.
Love it. Tell us.
Pop it down in the doodly doo. Get a hold of us on the Instagrams, Twitter, text us. I haven't built it yet, but you know what else? We're on Reddit. Find the Everyone Racers E1R.
Does that still exist?
Yes.
I thought they shut that down.
Everything is on Reddit.
Yeah,
everything is on Reddit.
I read it on Reddit. I have been living on the Veloster and Reddit for a good amount of time now.
The community TV show Reddit is brilliant.
I didn't know it existed, actually. So
yes. So find us on Reddit. I've literally posted one thing on there, but yeah.
Well, I will go find it and I will populate it.
There we go. All right. But tell us through any one of those social medias. Text us. Jeff will do the number here in a minute. I don't even know what it is. Get a hold of us. What did we miss at the Dream Track?
Text us at 484-243-0455.
It can't be that much more.
We got everything.
I'm willing to bet we will get something we didn't think of from Bill, and he will be right.
Oh, I know what Bill's going to say. Can I predict? Bill, say the word right now and watch me say it at the same time. 1, 3, 2, 1. Slushy machine.
Slurpee machine.
Okay.
Well, that's at the ice cream. That's at the ice cream shop, Jeff.
No, he wants to pour his. He wants to put
but
half pina colada, half Coca-Cola, half cherry.
Is that what he has?
I don't know.
The squishy machine is right there. Like you walk up to the ice cream counter, but right there, or you can just buy the cup and there's your squishy machine. Yeah, Chris has got it. Yeah, Chris has got it figured out.
All right. So you're going to text us. You're going to tell us what we forgot in our dream track. Chrissy, do we have just the tip hella sweet? Do we have anything? It's blank, so I don't want to throw it to you. No, we got nothing. Okay, here is your on the
are we doing the thing we talked about doing next week?
I don't know what we talked about next week.
No.
Okay, so we don't. All right, give us the on the spot, Jeff.
I had it and I lost it.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, on the spot. I got that on the spot.
It's next to the slushy machine.
What are you ordering at the snack bar of our dream track?
Ooh.
Around the horn, on the spot. No one knows I'm about to ask the question. Anything at all you could ever eat at the track is at the snack bar, but it's going to be snack bar level. So if you ask for like foie gras, it's going to be like foie gras from a snack bar. Mental has his hand up, but I'm afraid because
I'm-
I'm looking
and
at
I'm-
his haircut.
I
Go
don't
on.
have a haircut. That's part of the
It's
problem.
right, yes.
And I'm stealing everyone's glory. But of course, the dream track, I'm going to order the track specialty, the wart burger, and it will be delicious.
Oh, I didn't think of that.
I didn't think of that
Good one.
either.
Yeah. I was thinking
A wart burger. And the meal deal comes. It's a wart burger. Actually, the meal you get the wart burger, a White Claw, and 3 Chrissy's Mom's cookies, or you can choose to Aaron size it, which is exactly the same thing, but it comes with 3 wart burgers.
I'm gonna say that the barbecue nachos are a specialty of the Dream Track snack bar.
Do they have to be? Are they on chips or are they on fries?
You can order it either way. You can
Fine.
order it on basically nacho chips or on French fries.
With jalapenos.
I want a brick oven meat lovers pizza.
Yeah, you know what? That's good. Good snack bar with a good pizza oven, man. I'm
Oh, yeah.
there.
Okay.
I was going with your choice of al pastor or carne
Taco truck.
asada tacos.
Ooh, street tacos.
Street
Yes.
tacos. Yeah.
Yeah. And then because it's going to be in like Southern California ish,
Yeah.
Yeah.
fish tacos.
But
No,
when
no,
they're
no.
breaded, then I can't eat them. But
Hatch
blackened.
chilies. Hatch chilies. Right on there.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, I like
Alrighty
the,
then.
Yes, I like the fries. Let's go with fries. I was going to say the barbecue pork fries.
Yeah.
On waffle fries.
On the waffle fries.
Of course. You have 2 choices: waffle fries or tater tots.
Either
Nice.
one.
All right. Or both.
Or a mix. A mix.
Exactly. We have no clue what we're doing next show. None at all, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
We're willing to take suggestions.
No, but we do have to. We keep talking about the upcoming show, the Ask Me Anything. It's coming. It's just that there's a couple problems with some Wednesdays. So
Yes. We can't do it next Wednesday. So it's
We're
got to
gonna-
be punted down the road, and we'll get to it eventually.
it's coming. It will be
It's
the
coming.
20 or 20
8,
something or the
209.
sometime.
My music's
Whatever it
really loud,
takes.
sorry.
Yeah.
We'll let you know. That's what it is because it's going to be live. We'll let you know.
Yeah.
All right. Are we ready to wrap this puppy up?
I think so.
Yes.
Let me say,
Thanks for letting us indulge our fantasy.
yeah. Thank you for downloading us. We hope you enjoyed this week's edition of Everyone Racers. We also hope you'll join us in the world of driving, racing, building, dreaming race cars, because everyone can be a racer, even you. If you enjoyed this podcast, subscribe. It's totally free. Then if you're watching on YouTube, hit the like button, hit the like button, hit the like button. It's what the YouTube algorithm is working on at the moment. Even if you hated us, hit that like button. Tell us why right down there in the doodly-doo. All right. If you have any questions or show ideas, drop a comment on our Facebook page, Everyone Racers, or email us at everyone.racers@gmail.com. Text mental 484-243-0455.
Send me your junk pictures. I'm good.
I don't know about that. Find us on Instagram or Twitter at everyone.racers. Join us. We should put this in the thing. Join us every Monday for iRacing. Hosted races, 9:00 Eastern time. I don't even know what to say, right?
Not yet. 9 and 10 Eastern.
9 and 10 Eastern.
6 and 7
Hosted
Pacific.
races. Everyone Racers. Hit us up for the password. Thanks again, and until next week, keep the shiny side up. Unless it's like the Mazda 3 and it's shiny on every side, then just keep those wheels down.
It's because it's covered in oil. That's why it's shiny.
Shh, I didn't say why.
All right, I'm out.